Hey guys, Johnny B here. I'm bringing you episode number 1s where I commemorate the songs atop the Billboard Hot 100, the Billboard Hot 100 Airplay, the Radio and Records chart, and the Billboard Top 40 Mainstream chart. And we're just trucking along in the 90s, and we have arrived at Alanis Morissette and Ironic, and I'm very excited to bring you this episode. Now, of course, this was a number 1 hit on both the Radio and Records chart and the Billboard Top 40 Mainstream chart. In fact, it was the number 1 single on the Top 40 Mainstream chart in 1996 for the whole entire year. And of course, this was featured on her monumental album, Jagged Little Pill, which I do own the CD copy. And of course, I do own the vinyl copy as well. And it is one of my all-time favorite albums. In fact, it might be my all-time favorite album. I'll reveal that in maybe a future series. We'll talk about that a little later. Now, I do have a very special story about this CD. Now, when I was living in Mexico City, so my brother, my mother, my father, and I, we all lived in Mexico City from 1991 until 1998. And we would return back to the States every spring, every summer, every winter, more or less. So basically, we kind of lived half the year in Mexico City. And whenever we would return for the summer, my grandmother used to give my brother and I some money. And, usually we would spend it on a video game or something like that. But in June of 1996, I wanted to buy my very first CD. And it happened to be Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. I bought it at a Camelot CD store in Naples, Florida. And at Coastland Centers, in that shopping center. And so let me just kind of give you a little backstory. So basically, my brother used to have this Grammy nominee CD, and it featured a You Ought to Know on it. And I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of You Ought to Know initially. Of course, I grew to love it a lot more as time went on. But my brother and I, we were trying to figure out who sang Ironic, because we used to listen to our Mexican radio station. It was called Alfa 91.3, and we couldn't understand the Mexican radio announcer. We can understand who was singing the song. We were always interested on who was singing the song in addition to hearing it. And so when we returned back to the States, we were flipping through channels, and then we came across MTV, and this music video was playing. And we were just shocked to find out that the same singer of You Ought to Know was the singer of Ironic. So, there's a little story for you right there. And as for the music video, it's my all-time favorite music video. I just love how it has 4 different versions of Alanis. You got the brown Alanis, who's driving the car. You got the red Alanis, who's kind of crazy and, sticking her whole body out the window while the car is in motion. Which, by the way, in high school, I used to reenact that all the time whenever the song would come on when we play it with my friends. So, there's a little story right there as well. And, of course, there is red and yellow Alanis in the back. So I just like how it has 4 different personalities of Alanis in one vehicle in a snowstorm. I think it's crazy. And I also really just love the song as well. I like the acoustic nature of it. I like all the references in it. I don't care if they're not ironic. I think they're more unfortunate if we were to be literal. But nonetheless, I think that it's still a really cool song. And I really love the ending of it as well. It kind of just gives me a little hope. It's like when she goes, "Life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out." And when I just hear that, little last strum of the guitar, I just think it's beautiful. I personally just love that ending. And I just have to say that, this song brings back a lot of memories. It has a lot of, Jagged Little Pill has a lot of significance to me. So I'm forever grateful that this was my first album. And I'm happy that Ironic motivated me to buy this album. So anyway, that was Alanis Morissette with Ironic. I look forward to bringing you another episode number 1s. I'm Johnny B, and I'm out.